But bigger events may lie ahead during the course of the week. SP Tulsian has joined in to talk about that. Morning, Mr. Tulsian. We hear that the Supreme Court judgment may come as early as this week. Is it likely in your eyes?
Yes, Udyan, it is likely because if you see the events, Chief is retiring by 10th May and we have Saturday and Sunday on 8th and 9th May. So whatever has to happen will definitely be happening by 7th May. And if you go by the calendar, we are hardly left with 5, 6, 7 days. And hopefully this is the only week, where we can expect, or maybe the week beginning from 3rd May, maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th could be the date. So maybe next 6 to 7 days this judgment is most likely. Yeah.
Mr. Tulsian, morning. What's feeding the trading punt on all the ADAG stocks though? I mean, they're the ones that are up a lot today.
Honestly, I am not aware, Mitali, because frankly, because one can understand if I just try to connect this judgment, that maybe if maybe the outcome can be, positive on Reliance Infra, RNRL and Reliance Power. But honestly, I don't know that the reason for maybe the stocks like Reliance Capital or even the direct impact on Reliance Power also happening on that front. But yes, we see these kind of movements, happening at an interval in the ADAG stocks, and probably this is that periodical event happening now.
This will be bigger than even earnings earlier this week for Reliance, right, Mr. Tulsian?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Then?
Any early reason to believe, Mr. Tulsian, that Reliance might be at a disadvantage going into the ruling because the stock is weak and the RNRL stock is strong? Any apprehensions that you have?
Well, then honestly, there are, complicated issues of law involved here, because one is the authority of the government, to fix up the price. Second, the validity of the demerger scheme, having carried out by Reliance Industries and the group companies, and the validity of the family settlement, the agreement having entered between the companies. So honestly, if you see the events having happened, at the high court levels, because even there have been quite differences, maybe between the judgment or between the events and the arguments having taken place, and even at the Supreme Court when the arguments have started beginning, at that time also there have been, a lot of ups and downs during the course of proceedings. So honestly, it's very difficult to take a call whether the judgment will be in favor of RNRL or in favor of Reliance Industries. But yes, one can definitely say that, presume that even if the judgment goes in favor of RNRL, and the way the argument has taken place where even RNRL has confirmed that they are not allowed to trade in the gas, so what will be the outcome? Can it just be a sentimental? Because then it will take them maybe at least 3 years or maybe 4 years to create the power generation capacity at Dadri, and during that time they will not stand to gain anything. And the way we have been talking that maybe 3 years down the line we may have the surplus gas situation in the country, or whether the price of $2.34 per MBTU will really be beneficial at that point of time, will all start applying post judgment. So it's very difficult just to take a direction of the judgments from the price behavior or the price pattern of the stocks, which they have been ruling now in the market. Yeah.
We'll talk about a few of the IPOs which are open as well, Mr. Tulsian. Any thoughts on Mandhana Industries?
See, then I like the issue because firstly, the Axis Bank have put in the money at 115 rupees per share, and secondly, it was for the last couple of months there has been revival of interest in the stocks in the textile sector. But the only problem for textile sector that they have been ruling at a very low P multiple like 5-6 times, and yes, there have been some increase happening or seeing in the P multiple also. And this stock, if I take a call, for first 9 months, yes, they had a problem of 18 crore forex loss, which has never happened in the history of the company, and because of that the EPS of the company has taken a hit out, but still they should be able to post an EPS of 18 rupees for FY10. Suppose if this loss would not have happened, then probably they would have posted an EPS of about 22 to 24 for FY10. And going forward, maybe FY11 should give them a top line of 675 crore with a PAT of close to 66 crore. That translates into an EPS of close to about 20. So if I go by the present P multiple being given by the market for these type of companies, is at an average of around 7. So I think that the company should issue the shares at a P multiple of 6, and if I am expecting an EPS of 20, that gives me a price of about 120, while the company has fixed the price band at 120 to 130. So I'll really be happy if the price or the book get discovered at 120, because then that will leave some appreciation on the table for the prospective investors. But yes, at 130, it gets, it translates into a P multiple of 6.5. And as I say that the average P multiple of all these companies are about 7.5 times, then, the prospective investors are left with very little margin on the table. So I'll be happy to see the price getting discovered at 120, because that gives me a good comfort in this stock.
The big one this week is Jaypee Infra, Mr. Tulsian. Any thoughts on that and what it might do for the listed Jaypee associates as well?
Mitali, again, this is a very interesting play, because if you see, it's a combination of a infrastructure and the realty play. The kind of land, the company have got 5 land parcels of 500 hectare each. That is 1,235 acre or 500 hectare each at 5 locations. And in fact, they have been, if you see their move, they are very smartly deleveraging the company. In fact, already they have booked a profit of close to about 700 crore. And I hope that in next couple of years, they will definitely be, because they are entitled for the tax-free profits under Section 80IA or subsection 4. And definitely they'll keep selling the premises. And maybe, the debt, which is to the extent of about 4,500 crore in the books of the company, the total project cost, including the land cost of realty development, is also close to about 9,600. And they are working well on the project. They are completing the road project 2 years ahead of the schedule. So definitely the revenue, the toll revenue will start flowing in from Yamuna Expressway. But I am more banking on the realty stocks, the land parcel which they are holding at 5 locations. And if you see the total enterprise value, because their equity, I think, should rise by, to about 1,400 crore equity. And if I take even a market price of 115, 120, I think it gives a P multiple of, it gives a EV of about 16, 17,000 crore. And as I said, that I am presuming that they should be able to, make the company debt free next couple of years. That makes overall the issue quite interesting. In fact, I'm personally, happy to see these kind of price band, though they have good room could have gone for a little higher price band on top of it. They've given a 10% discount also to the retail investors. And now coming on the benefits to the Jaypee associates, already, they are, Jaypee associates is selling 6 crore shares. So they will be pocketing about maybe 700 crore rupees from that divestment. And post that, they'll continue to have the stake of close to about 75 to 80%, depends on the dilution. So definitely, as I say, with a EV of about 16, 17,000 crore and with a stake of 75,000 held by that, and with a market cap of Jaypee Associates at about 31,000 crore, will definitely be beneficial for the company going forward. And even, standalone on Jaypee Infratech, personally, in fact, I'm quite positive on the stocks, those who can have a view of 1 to 2 years, because people will be comparing this with ILFS, Transport Network, IRB Infra and all that. So I'm quite impressed with the stock. Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Tulsian, as always, for joining in. That's a whole clutch of IPOs to watch out for. There's one that's currently